the SAP button on your television. Back deep for the Cowboys. Jeff Ogden, 85. Kevin Mathis. As David Akers gets things started. Second meeting of the season between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Mathis is driven down at the 23-yard line. 18-yard return. Mike Caldwell made the stop for the Eagles on special teams. Troy Aikman leads the 20th ranked offense in the NFL onto the field. Mark Stepnoski returning after missing last week's game. Left guard Larry Allen, the perennial All-Pro, is still out, missing his 4th consecutive game. Ismael and Jason Tucker making his first NFL start on the wideouts. Emmitt Smith with Robert Thomas, and the tight end is David LaFleur. Cowboys start in a 2 tight end set. First down from their own 23-yard line. The pitch to Emmitt Smith. Out across the 25-yard line, William Thomas made the tackle for the Eagles, ranked 23rd defensively in the NFL. The Philadelphia front 4 without Brandon Whiting, who was injured last week. And Deion Sanders has checked into the game at wide receiver for the Cowboys. As we take a look at the Eagles defense, Steve Martin back in the starting lineup. 2nd and 8, Sanders lined up against Bobby Taylor, playing offense for the first time this season. And Aikman's pass is batted down by Steve Martin. So it will be 3rd and 8 for the Cowboys.
What Deion Sanders does to the Philadelphia defense is they force a safety to roll over the top. So Bobby Taylor's going to press him on the line of scrimmage, but because of his speed, there's a safety over the top of Deion. You have to have 2 guys to account for his speed deep.
And Steve Martin, number 91, who did not start last week, back in the starting lineup. Knocked the pass down. Sanders on the sidelines. Aikman calls an early timeout.
I think that the Cowboys wanted to see initially how the Eagles defense was going to handle Deion Sanders and what that was going to accomplish.
Opening minute of play from Dallas will return in a moment.
All right, Captain.
Back in Dallas following the timeout. 3rd and 8 for the Cowboys on their opening drive.
And this is where they've struggled, Kenny. The first 6 games they were 45%, but in the last 6 games only 23% in this situation.
3 wide receivers. Aikman out of the shotgun. Pass time, airing it out, looking for Tucker, and a penalty marker. Troy Vincent pulled down Tucker.
The Eagles gave Troy Vincent the job of covering Rocket Ismael all day long today. Ismael's speed was too much for him.
Number 23, automatic first down.
Here's the Rocket. Watch the speed right here with Troy Vincent. Now he starts to separate, and Vincent, watch him come up. He'll hook that hand right there. He hooks the hand and stops Ismael from making that catch. There it is. Excuse me, that's Jason Tucker who had him beat.
38-yard penalty. Chris Warren's first carry of the game, and he is hit for a loss of a yard. So it will be 2nd and 11. Once again, the Philadelphia front 4, Mamula, Martin, Thomas, and Jefferson. Linebacking core, William Thomas, Jeremiah Trotter, and the rookie out of Northwestern, Barry Gardner. Taylor and Vincent are the corners. Dawkins and Houck, the safeties. 2nd and 11. Ismael in motion. Chris Warren once again pounding his way to the 32-yard line. Emmitt Smith out of the game. A gain of 6. Jeremiah Trotter made the tackle.
You know, Jason Tucker, you see right there, ran so fast on that interference play that I thought he was Rocket Ismael. And the Eagles said that they want Troy Vincent to go with Ismail all day long. What most teams have done defensively over the last several weeks, since Michael Irvin's been hurt and Ernie Mills has been out, is to roll the corners up over the top of the Rocket.
Cowboys spread the field with 4 wide receivers, including Sanders. 3rd and 5. Aikman looking for Sanders. Al Harris had the coverage on Dion.
Well, Al Harris is a quick player, and he's got help behind him so he can play up close and try to disrupt Dion's rhythm, and that's what he does right there. So this is a go route, and Dion has the speed that should be able to get over the top, but Al Harris does a great job of chucking Dion in that 5-yard zone.
Cowboys cut Richie Cunningham this week. 43-year-old Eddie Murray out to attempt a 50-yard field goal. And Murray's first kick in the NFL in 2 years is no good. He's 3rd all-time in the NFL in 50-yard field goals. And this one off the right goalpost. Eddie Murray, a former Eagle and a former Cowboy, hitting the right goalpost on his first attempt since he was signed earlier this week. And now good field position for the Eagles as they start from their own 40. And McNabb's pass on 1st and 10 was deflected. He was looking for the rookie out of North Carolina, Nay Brown. 5th NFL start for Donovan McNabb. Eagles have gone 1-3 over his previous 4. Only 1 interception the last 2 weeks. Thomas, Brzezinski, Everett, Dellenbach, and Pollelay. Small and Brown, the wide receivers. Staley with Cecil Martin. And the tight end is Chad Lewis. 3 wideouts on 2nd and 10. Staley, a gain of 7. Dexter Coakley made the stop. It will be 3rd and 3, but first, a Fox NFL update. We head to Los Angeles and James Brown.
Kenny and Tim, Stephen Davis of the Skins underutilized last week, making amends today. Gaping hole by the offensive line. 50-yard run to pay dirt. 63 of the 67 yards on the Skins' opening drive. Credited to that man, Stephen Davis, up by 7. Kenny and Tim.
So a good start for the Redskins as they lead Arizona by a touchdown. McNabb on the bootleg, and we'll see where they spot it. He looks to have the first down just across midfield.
One thing you have to do with Donovan McNabb is the defensive end. This time Greg Ellis has got to get upfield and contain him, because once he breaks contain, he can find receivers downfield, he can throw on the run, or he can run for the first down. So there he is. He breaks the contain right there. Now watch how smart Donovan McNabb is. The ball is spotted where he goes out of bounds where the ball is, and see his arm. He holds his arm out there, extends the ball so that he goes out of bounds short of the marker, but the ball is marked, I think, beyond and giving them a first down.
McNabb ran for 4 first downs on 3rd down plays last week, and he does it early in the first quarter today.
Due to circumstances, Ellis, defensive end, down on that play, chasing Donovan McNabb, and then here's Ellis right here, and then Spellman comes over the top and gets his leg. There's Spellman, and there's the leg. Watch, the leg plants right there, and that looked like an ugly injury.
Greg Ellis.
He's been their most productive defensive lineman. We talked about that front 7 for the Cowboys defense in the open and how good they've been all season long.
Ellis leads the Cowboys, Tim, with 7.5 sacks. He scored 2 touchdowns this season. He was their first-round pick last year out of North Carolina.
Their rushing defense has been 9th, but I always look at not what the defensive rank, the total yards is, but the yards per play. And if you look at this Cowboys defense in yards per play, they're 5th in the National Football League. And Ellis has been a big part of it. He also has 7.5 sacks. He's a young player, and he's progressed nicely. The good news for the Cowboys as a team, though, is they've got a lot of depth on their defensive line. They typically roll the backup players in. The rookie, Pepe Zellner. They've got Leon Lett back now, Brandon Noble, another rookie. Of course, their first-round draft pick, Ebenezer Ekubon.
A look at early scores around the National Football League. Steve Christie hitting on a 50-yard field goal for the Bills. Stephen Davis, you saw his 50-yard touchdown run against the Cardinals. News bulletin, the Rams are trailing.
That won't be for long.
Indianapolis with a chance to clinch a playoff berth today. Ravens and the Steelers tied in the first quarter. And Cincinnati looking for their third consecutive victory. 3-0 over the Cleveland Browns. But the concern here in Dallas, of course, for the injured Cowboy defensive end, Greg Ellis. Cowboys already playing without their starting left cornerback, Kevin Smith. Safety Izell Reese out for the year. We've chronicled the injuries on offense, especially among the wide receivers. They lost Michael Irvin for the season and possibly for his career in the first game against Philadelphia.
You see Emmitt Smith out stretching up. He put a little more tape on his ankle there, it appears. Emmitt Smith, of course, going over 1,000 yards in last week's game, chasing Walter Payton's record
for total rushing yardage in a career. Pepe Zellner, the rookie out of Fort Valley State, 4th-round draft pick, will replace Ellis on the Cowboys line. Eagles will have a first down just inside midfield in Dallas territory on their opening offensive drive after Eddie Murray missed on a long field goal for the Cowboys.
First and 10, Philadelphia at midfield.
Eagles with 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10. Deuce Staley up the middle. Down to the 45-yard line, a gain of 5, so it will be 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. Cowboys ranked 11th defensively. Pittman, Spellman, Hennings, Ellis, of course, injured moments ago, replaced by Zellner, Coakley, Godfrey, and Hambrick, the linebackers. Sanders with Kevin Mathis starting for the injured Kevin Smith. George Teague, Darren Woodson are the safeties. 2nd and 5. Off the play fake to Staley. McNabb takes off, has another first down, and more. All the way down to the Dallas 24-yard line, a gain of 21.
Donovan McNabb is the most dangerous offensive weapon the Eagles have right now, because this is what he does. Now, the Cowboys come with a 5-man rush. They thought they could eliminate pass rush lanes for McNabb to run in, but McNabb is so quick and he runs so well, he's got great vision, that he turns himself from a quarterback into a running back and picks up another first down.
From the 24, Staley looks to cut it outside, and he is chased down. Kavika Pittman, the first Cowboy to meet Staley. No gain on the play.
One of the things the Cowboys defense has been able to do this season is stop teams' running games with only 7 men, the front 7, enabling them to take both safeties to help with the cornerbacks. Because the Eagles are not very strong at the wide receiver position, Dave Campo, the coordinator, felt he could afford to use one of the safeties in the run game today.
Eagles shifting on 2nd and 11. Staley lost a yard on the previous play. McNabb under pressure, and the pass is batted down by Chad Hennings.
This is really nice awareness by Chad Hennings, who's had a real solid year. He's strong on there in the inside. Now, Hennings doesn't get a great pass rush here, but you're going to see him skate along the front of the line. He's double teamed, Now watch him mirror McNabb, and he begins to skate, and then he puts his hands up at just the right time to knock this pass down. You know, this is where McNabb is so dangerous, when he breaks that contain, as he did there on Kavika Pittman.
Leon Lett in the game for the Cowboys. 3rd down and 11. McNabb again under pressure, and this time nowhere to go. Ebenezer Ekubon, the rookie out of North Carolina, with his first NFL sack.
The Cowboys defense begins this play with outstanding coverage. Here's Kevin Mathis on Nate Brown, and he stays right with him, so McNabb has nowhere to throw. And then, of course, you never want to throw at Deion Sanders because he's so good. And then the pressure gets to McNabb. Nice job by Ekubon.
Norm Johnson, 44-yard field goal attempt. Doug Peterson is the holder, and Johnson's kick is good, giving the Philadelphia Eagles a 3-0 lead over the Dallas Cowboys. $3-0 lead for the Eagles as their kickoff specialist, David Akers, kicks it off to Kevin Mathis, waiting at the 2-yard line. Mathis out across the 25, the 30, spinning to the 40. A 38-yard return, and the kicker, Akers, made the tackle. Good field position for the Cowboys, following the long return by Mathis.
And Mathis is limping off the field, which is bad for a banged-up secondary already. It's nice blocking by the Cowboys kick return team. They make a nice hole for Mathis. Mathis accelerates through it. Speaking of guys limping, Emmitt Smith, with a strained left groin, may return. Right now, Chris Warren has replaced him.
Aikman on 1st down. The first completion of the game, it's Jason Tucker, the first-year receiver out of Texas Christian, a gain of 10.
Now, Jason Tucker went from his college season in Texas Christian to NFL Europe to the Cowboys training camp, and this guy has done a lot of running, but this is his first real chance to show what he can do. You see, he's got a nice average at 16.9, but I was impressed the first pass to him where he drew the pass interference penalty with his deep speed, and on that play there, he ran a nice route in the middle.
Sanders in the game at wide receiver. 3 wideouts, short drop, and a quick slant is caught by the tight end, Eric Bjornsson, for a gain of 9.
And this is what Troy Aikman wants to do with this offense. You've got a quarterback like Troy Aikman who's done it all. He's been to it all, and he has great accuracy throwing the football. Believe me, he likes to drop back on 1st down and throw. And he throws to his tight end, and on the play before, he threw to Jason Tucker. If it were up to Troy Aikman, I believe this offense would do a lot more passing.
2nd and 1. Warren close to the 1st down. Needed to get to the 40. Barry Gardner, the 2nd-round pick out of Northwestern, made the tackle.
You know, that's where the Cowboys offense, another area where they've struggled, is in short yardage. 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1. The thing that hurts them is penetration. You know, watch Steve Martin. He penetrates here, and he gets in the backfield and stops this thing up. And that's how you take out the Cowboys in the short yardage play.
Cowboys only 4 of 11 on 3rd and 1. Making 5 for 12 as Warren picks up the 1st down.
But it was not by much, and it was a nice second effort by Chris Warren. Because again, the Eagles defense did a nice job of penetrating up through that line. I think the Cowboys line is going to be a lot better this week than it has last week, just because Stepnowski's back. He's the guy in the center here, and he makes all the calls, and he's got exceptional quickness.
5-time Pro Bowler. Sanders in the game, play action on 1st down. Aikman rolling right, throws downfield, And the pass was deflected. He was looking for Deion Sanders. Troy Vincent got a piece of it.
Now, this is a matter of Troy forcing that football. Because the Eagles, again, they put the safety over the top of Deion. That's Brian Dawkins. And that enables Troy Vincent. Here's Dawkins here. And so Vincent can kind of just hang out underneath and go for the interception on this play. So you see it here. See, here's Vincent. And now he can float in to try to make this pass right there.
Vincent told us yesterday, I'll treat Deion just like any other wide receiver. 2nd and 10. Aikman fires, and the pass is caught for a first down by the tight end, David LaFleur, a gain of 26 yards.
So the tight end is a position for the Cowboys that has been inconsistent. And if you're inconsistent, then Troy Aikman doesn't want to throw you the football. But the tight end so far today, that position has been good. We've got 2 completions to the tight end, and LaFleur makes an acrobatic catch. And that's something that he has not done on a regular basis, but he's shown the skills to be able to do.
First down on the Eagles' 14. Aikman over the top to the fullback, Robert Thomas, the former linebacker, his 8th catch of the year. Inside the 5-yard line. James Darling on the tackle.
The thing that makes this thing work, Kenny, is the blitz pickup by the Cowboys. Because the blitz is going to come from the backside. And look at Chris Warren right there. Chris Warren steps up and blocks the blitzing linebacker. And that's what gives Troy Aikman the time to throw the ball into the zone that was vacated.
1st and goal. Warren in for the touchdown.
This is a great block by LaFleur. If you're going to run to the outside, you have to have your tight end give you the corner. And that's what David LaFleur does right here. He's blocking the linebacker. He uses up the linebacker, gives Chris Warren the corner, and he waltzes in.
Eddie Murray connects on the point after for the Cowboys. Only the 2nd touchdown for their offense in the last 12 quarters. The 50th rushing touchdown of Warren's career. Chris Warren filling in for the injured Emmitt Smith, reaching the end zone for the 2nd time this season. Aikman 4 for 5 on the drive to 4 different receivers.
I think having Emmitt Smith out of the game may have been the boost the passing game needed, because without Emmitt in there, Chan Gailey was more prone to throwing the ball to the wide receiver, the tight ends and the running backs, mixing the passing game up, and it worked.
Toby going with a short kickoff. He's the punter, taken by Dallas native Allen Rossum. The Eagles special teams MVP brings it up to the 25-yard line. Singor Mobley made the stop, a 13-yard return by Rossum. Coming up next, it's the 2nd half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader as the Lions take on Warren Sapp and the Buccaneers in the battle for first place in the NFC Central. Some of you will see the Falcons and the 49ers coming up next here on Fox.
And it was a great piece that Howie Long did on the pregame show with Sean King, the quarterback, the rookie quarterback down there in Tampa Bay, who's so exciting.
Deuce Staley on first down, and a good job by the Cowboys defense. A gain of only 1. Pepe Zellner, who is in for the injured Greg Ellis, made the tackle.
Yeah, that was really nice defense all the way across the line. Leon Lett had penetration. Zellner came off of his block. The linebackers, who have great speed, all pursued very quickly to the ball. And that's how you can stop the run with only 7 guys. If you can control the line of scrimmage with your front 4 and your linebackers can run.
2nd and 9, 3 wideouts. McNabb under pressure and picks up the first down. The tight end, Chad Lewis, will not go down. It takes 3 Cowboys to bring down Lewis, a gain of 18 yards.
The Cowboys cornerback, Charlie Williams, comes on a corner blitz, and he just stops. And when you're coming on a blitz, you can't go for the fake. He's going to come from the outside here, and he's got a clear run to Donovan McNabb. And he bites on that pump fake just a little bit and stops. You need to run straight through the quarterback.
Williams replacing the injured Kevin Mathis, who will not return to the game. For the Cowboys have lost 2 defensive starters, and McNabb overthrows the tight end Lewis. Darren Woodson on the coverage.
Well, that's a tough job for any tight end to try to run through Darren Woodson and George T. Well, they were both there, and they both have the speed to stay over the top of any tight end and most wide receivers.
The injury report, Tim, on Mathis, a sprained left knee. So Mathis and Ellis will not return to the game for the Cowboys. 2nd and 10. And Staley is met immediately by second-year linebacker Darren Hambrick. No gain on the play.
That's just good work right across the front. And you know, if the Cowboys defense can force the Eagles offense into being one-dimensional throwing the football, then they're going to have their way. So far, they've done a nice job of really limiting Deuce.
Only 12 yards on 5 carries for Staley. There's Mathis, the injured cornerback. Eagles converted 12 third downs last week. 4 wide receivers. McNabb can't find anyone, dumps it off to Staley, and he is stopped about 6 yards shy of the first down marker by Charlie Williams.
You know what Deion Sanders gives you? We talked at the beginning, the Cowboys defense has him. He takes away half the field. And so you put Deion out to the right side of your defense and you say, we don't need any more defensive backs. So you can crowd the other side of the field with your safeties and cornerbacks, and you have great coverage, and that's what happened on that last play.
Sean Landetta's first punt. Andy Reid told us yesterday we will try and make Deion catch the ball moving laterally. A low snap. And Sanders lets it go, and Rossum could not keep it out of the end zone. So a touchback, and the Cowboys will take over on their own 20-yard line. A 50-yard punt by Landetta. Tonight on Fox, an all-new X-Files, so bizarre and so shocking. After 144 cases, this is the one that should never have been opened. The X-Files, an all-new episode tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
Originally, Deion expected to only have about 8 plays in the offense, and Troy Aikman told us yesterday that because of the injury situation throughout the week, it evolved into what he thought would be at least 16 offensive plays.
Dallas lost another wide receiver this week. Wayne McGarity placed on IR. Aikman under pressure, threw it away.
A nice pressure by the Eagles defense. You know, back to Deion Sanders and what he's going to bring to the offense as he comes out on the field. These are his main routes. A go route where you just run straight down the field. A comeback, which is where you start to run straight down the field, and then you stop. A reverse, which gets his ball in the hands in a run game. And then these plays here, a slant, a deep cross, and a shallow cross, which he has not run a lot of, because that takes him into the middle of the defense where the defenders can get their hands and hits on it.
Aikman has thrown 2 passes Sanders' way. He does not have a reception. And Aikman this time looking for the Rocket Ismail. So it will be 3rd and 10 for the Cowboys.
Now, Deion actually got himself open on that play, and that shows the difference between an experienced receiver being out there and a guy who plays defense and special teams, because when Troy Aikman gets in trouble, he looks to the guy that he's comfortable with. Now, again, there's 2 guys, a corner underneath, a safety over the top, but when Aikman gets in trouble, you see that? Deion gets himself wide open, but Aikman's eyes naturally go to the Rocket.
Chris Brazel, number 82, in the game at wide receiver, just off the practice squad. And Aikman is sacked. He lost the football, and it's recovered back at the 3-yard line by the left tackle Flozell Adams. Mike Mamula made the hit, leading to the fumble.
This is a nice rush by Mike Mamula. He comes up and he gets underneath Flozell Adams' pads. So watch him. He makes Adams think he's going to go on a power rush there, and then he comes around to the outside. So he gets Adams to set his feet, and then he uses his speed to get around to the outside. But Flozell does a nice job of not just quitting and giving up, but getting on this fumble.
Toby Goen deep in his own end zone. He's second in the NFC in punting average. Wobbly kick, and it takes a bit of a Cowboys bounce, fielded by Rossum, and he is pulled down at the Cowboys 37-yard line by Pepe Zellner. 44-yard punt, 7 yards on the return, setting up excellent field position for the Eagles.
I think when you get to this time in the season and you see a 3-10 team, a lot of times the temptation is to say, well, they're not going to play that hard. But every player, and there's Andy Reid, the head coach, every player plays hard individually. And I think Andy Reid has held this 3-10 team together based on what they can do in the future, based on Donovan McNabb and how excited everyone is about his talents.
Much different situation than last December when just about everybody in Philadelphia knew that Ray Rhodes would be out. McNabb pump fakes, fires, deflected, picked off. Darren Hamrick. Deflected off the fingertips of the tight end Lewis, and then Hamrick with his second interception of the season.
Well, the Eagles offense did everything right on this play except catch the football. The offensive line gives McNabb excellent protection. They give him the pocket. They give him the throwing lane down the middle. Lewis gets open. McNabb delivers the ball, but Lewis just can't hang on to it. And it's a nice heads-up play by Hambrick. You can only make those plays if you're constantly running to the football. We talked about the Cowboys linebackers and their speed. They have the speed, but they also use the speed. Nice pick.
First and 10 from the 41, a big hole for Chris Warren. Into Philadelphia Eagles territory, close to the first down marker. Troy Vincent made the tackle, and that will do it for the first quarter from Dallas. A 4-yard touchdown run by Warren after the early Eagles field goal, and the Cowboys lead it 7-3. In the book, 7-3 lead for the Cowboys as we welcome you back. Kenny Albert along with Tim Green. Without 3 injured wide receivers, without Emmitt Smith, Cowboys have moved the ball well so far.
Well, I think without Emmitt Smith, the Cowboys have gone to a little bit different passing game, an inside passing game to the tight ends and the wide receivers.
And at the second catch of the day by the wide receiver Jason Tucker, a gain of 8 on first down as we send it to the Fox Network Center for this NFL update with JB.
Well, the Skins tried to hurt their own effort with a penalty. However, Kenny, they do come through. Brad Johnson to Irving Fryer, his first touchdown this season as a Skin. 7-yard variety. Washington up by 11. Back to Kenny at 10.
JB, I didn't know Chris Collinsworth didn't take the bar, but I like this piece on the tired arm there.
Warren down the sidelines, penalty marker on the play as Warren is forced out of bounds at the 5, a 30-yard pickup on a penalty marker back at the 40.
Illegal hands to the face. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Left guard Solomon Page.
That's too bad because Page and Adams and Robert Thomas, the fullback, do a nice job here of opening up this hole. Watch Thomas with that block there. That's the key block. And a nice run by Chris Warren to accelerate through that hole.
Dallas, the most penalized team in the NFL, and this will force them back 10 yards to their own 49. Second and 12. Emmitt Smith still out with that strained left groin. And the play is blown dead. Another marker against the Cowboys.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 81, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's against the Rocket, and you mentioned before the Cowboys the most penalized team in the National Football League, and this has been the kind of self-destruction that has really marred their 6 losses. You know, Chan Gailey runs an offense where they really want to run first, and he doesn't like to be in these second and very long situations.
All 6 of those losses have been on the road. They're 5-0 here at home this season. On 2nd and 17, Aikman looking for Ismail. Al Harris on the coverage.
Aikman's pass intended for number 81, Rocket Ishmael. Incomplete. 3rd down, 7.
Well, Troy Aikman's offensive line does their part on this play. They give him, again, they give him the protection. They keep him clear enough. And this is just timing between Rocket and Troy Aikman. You see Al Harris actually had his hand on the Rocket and prevented him from coming back. That could have been a penalty.
Deion Sanders in the game, 3rd and 17. Here comes the blitz. Aikman's pass is caught by Sanders. Knocked out of bounds, 8 yards shy of the first down marker by Allen Rawson. His first reception of the season.
And again, Deion, this is a shallow crossing pattern. This is why you would be a little hesitant to have Deion run this kind of a route, because now he catches it here. It gives him the opportunity to make something happen, but it also gives the opportunity for the defense to really lay the wood to him. And that's what Rossum and Troy Vincent are doing right here. Watch, Rossum gets a hold of him, and watch Vincent come in. Whack. I mean, they pound it. And there was a face mask on that penalty, too, that the officials didn't see. Well, that will wear you out. Those kind of hits will tire you out.
In fact, Gailey told us yesterday, depending on how many plays Sanders plays offensively, they might keep him out of the series on defense. Although they lost their starting left cornerback, Kevin Mathis.
Yeah, and that may be a factor.
Offense, number 93, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, so far, the Eagles' defense has done a really nice job of containing Deion Sanders. And their strategy of putting a guy up and pressing him with a safety over the top has really disrupted him and not allowed him to be a factor so far.
Allen Rawson waiting at his own 10-yard line. Toby Goins' second punt. Good hang time and a fair catch by Rawson. 42-yard punt by Toby Goins. Back in Dallas, Kenny Albert with Tim Green, 7-3 lead for the Dallas Cowboys as the Eagles start from their own 10-yard line. Donovan McNabb handing it off to Deuce Staley. Looks to cut it back inside. A penalty marker on the play as Staley is hit for a loss of 1 by Chad Hennings. And the Eagles called for holding, so they will be forced back even deeper.
Deuce Staley on the carry, tackled by Chad Hennings. Flags down on the play.
Holding, offense number 71. Penalty is declined, 2nd down.
Well, the Dallas defense is determined to clamp down on the run here. We talked before about how they stopped most of their runs with 7 men, but on that last play, they brought Darren Woodson up and created an 8-man front.
And the Cowboys took the play, declined the penalty, so the Eagles lose it down. Staley up the middle on 2nd and 10 for a gain of about 4 yards. Kavika Pittman made the tackle.
So far, this Dallas defense has done exactly what the Eagles feared they would do, and that is really limit their running game and forcing Donovan McNabb into these known passing situations. The thing that McNabb has done to answer the call has been to scramble for first downs.
Leon Lent in for the Cowboys. 3rd and 6. 3 wide receivers set for the Eagles. Shovel pass, and Staley is met by the free safety, George Teague.
Well, George Teague has man coverage, and so he comes up here from the outside and makes a great hit here. See it right there. He's trailing Deuce Staley anyway, and so when the shovel pass goes to Staley, he's on him instantly, and it's a nice tackle. And that was the knock on George Teague, is that he wasn't a good tackler, and this year he's tackled better than he ever has.
Short punt by Landetta. Took a Cowboys bounce. Only 24 yards on the punt. Who have not lost at home here at Texas Stadium, Tim. They have outscored their opponents by an average of 29-9.
Yeah, and you look at this right here, 19-point margin of victory at home.
Only 1-6 on the road. Their only win, the season opener in Washington. They have lost their last 6 road games. Aikman hitting the tight end LaFleur. His second catch. William Thomas made the stop after a gain of 6.
And again, Troy Aikman throwing to a different group of receivers. LaFleur again with a catch. We saw Bjornson have a catch. We saw a ball go to Robert Thomas, the fullback, although the play didn't continue. See there, the distribution has been much more to the tight ends and running backs than it has to the wide receiver.
2nd and 4 as Hollis Thomas breaks through to make the tackle on Chris Warren, a loss of 3.
Well, Everett McIver, who's got a bad neck, has just got to make this cutoff play. He's got to cut off Hollis Thomas here, and he doesn't get his head across Thomas's body. And Thomas did a great job of accelerating upfield. He's a big man, and he does have nice acceleration upfield.
4 wide receivers, including Sanders. 3rd and 6. Aikman out of the shotgun, and Dion able to make the catch. Al Harris says no. Looks as if Dion made the catch. He did, but is about a yard shy of the first down. Nice catch by Sanders.
Yeah, it was a really nice catch. Watch Dion again. He's just going to break on an in pattern here. And it's nice coverage, but Dion does a great job of hanging on to that football. And now the Cowboys are in 4th and 1, and this is where they've struggled as well. We've talked about a 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1. Short yardage is where they have not had success, especially running the ball.
Warren, first down and more. Barry Gardner finally brought him down. He needed 1 and picked up 9.
Well, Robert Thomas is doing a great job as a fullback. He's a guy who used to be a linebacker. Watch him come and put the block on the blitzing linebacker right there. So he freezes the linebacker, and that's what really springs the hole. And also, Flozell Adams did a nice job of staying on his block.
Warren doing a nice job filling in for Emmitt Smith. 8 carries, 28 yards. Aikman on first down, and Ismael dropped it. Thought about running before he caught the ball. And right now for another Fox NFL update, James Brown, take it away.
Hey, the rookie cornerback for the Redskins, Champ Bailey, really has a Cardinals number as he picks off Jake Plummer here. He had 3 against the Cards in the last meeting, 4 of his 5 picks this season against the Cardinals. Back to Kenny Albert and Tim Green.
JB, we saw Jake Plummer last week throw 4 potential interceptions that the Eagles linebackers just flat out dropped.
And they worked on their pass catching in practice this week. The Eagles linebackers. Warren down to the 16-yard line. Jeremiah Trotter made the tackle, a gain of 6.
I tell you, Robert Thomas is really having a good football game. If you have a 2-back running formation, you have to have a fullback that can block. And so far, every time today, watch him on this block here. Every time today, he has blocked his man decisively. He hasn't just gotten in the guy's way. He's blocked decisively and made it easy for Chris Warren to make a decision to run straight ahead.
He played linebacker last year, also with the Rhine Fire in NFL Europe, converted by the Cowboys this season. Warren on 3rd and 4. And he is just shy. Needed to get to the 11-yard line. Jeremiah Trotter made this tackle. Warren filling in for the injured Emmitt Smith, who carried the ball once and is out with a strained left groin. This time the Cowboys will not go for it on 4th down. Eddie Murray, who was working as the sideline reporter on Detroit Lions radio broadcasts up until this week, when he was brought back in by the Cowboys. This a 30-yard attempt. And Murray is 1 for 2. Two-time Pro Bowler, 43 years of age. And the Cowboys extend their lead. It is now 10-3. Welcome back. Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Cowboys with a 10-3 lead following the 30-yard field goal by Murray. Eric Bieniemy in front of Allen Rossum out of Skyline High School here in Dallas. Awaiting Goins' kickoff. Rossum from the 1. Looked to cut it to the near side. And then he was met by Wendell Davis. Only a 16-yard return by Rossum. Other action in the NFC East. 4 teams all within 1 game in the standings. Giants 6-6, leading Buffalo 6-3. Washington 7-5 in first place on top of Arizona.
And if you look at the remaining games, really the Cowboys have the easiest schedule. The Giants probably have the toughest schedule with the Rams, the Vikings, and the Cowboys. But if the Cowboys can win today, they're going to be in good position.
The Cavs pass is caught by Nate Brown for a first down. Brown's first catch of the game, a gain of 11 yards.
Pass complete to number 80, Torrance Small.
Well, Torrance Small actually was the guy on that, but you're confused just because they switched sides. Torrance Small was on the left. Typically he's on the left. Nate Brown's on the right. But whoever's on the left side today knows they're not going to get any action. So Torrance Small gets to run this slant pattern over here. Now this play here, they put him back to the left with Dion's on him, and he's not going to see any action.
Our apologies to Torrance Small. And again, Staley is bottled up. Dexter Coakley, the first Cowboy to make the hit on Staley.
Dexter Coakley ties the team with interceptions. He's got 4. And again, it's about having speed. These linebackers for the Cowboys are not big. Although Quentin Coriat, who they brought back this week, may play, he's the biggest one. The rest of the guys, though, are very fast and very active.
Second and 7. This time it's Nate Brown. Taken down at the 34-yard line by DeJuan Hawthorne after a gain of 4.
It was nice coverage by DeJuan Hawthorne because he had to really come all the way across the field. He's playing left cornerback, and Nate Brown ran a drag route all the way across the field, and Hawthorne did a nice job of staying with him and then making the tackle.
Tim, the Eagles playing without their left tackle, Trey Thomas, who suffered a sprained groin. Lonnie Pollelay has moved over to the left side. McNabb in trouble. George Teague on the safety blitz, forcing McNabb to throw it away.
You know, the thing that makes this blitz so beautiful for the Cowboys is the timing of the safeties. Watch how Teague and Woodson kind of come up and time this perfectly. Watch this. And then they hit the line of scrimmage at the exact time. So Teague is on Donovan McNabb instantly.
Deion Sanders working the crowd. Sean Landetta's last punt was only 24 yards. Low snap.
Look out.
Sanders. Only a 2-yard return by Deion. Terrific coverage by the Eagles special teams unit, led by Mike Caldwell.
If you stop Deion, it's something to celebrate about.
Washington 14, Arizona 3.
Are they getting ready to watch the primetime lineup?
Absolutely. There's no doubleheader here in Dallas today, so they'll be able to have plenty of time to get to it.
That's right. The folks watching here in Dallas will not see a late game. LaFleur with the deflection, and then Ismael nearly came up with the acrobatic catch.
I mean, you see Troy Aikman continuing to throw to David LaFleur because LaFleur has 2 receptions already. And if you catch Troy Aikman's footballs in the beginning of the game, you know, he'll begin to throw to you. Well, that would have been a difficult catch for LaFleur to make, so I don't think Aikman's going to hesitate to continue to throw his way.
3 wide receivers, 2nd and 10. Aikman over the top, intended for LaFleur, knocked down by Jeremiah Trotter.
Aikman's pass intended for LaFleur.
Now, that was nice awareness by Jeremiah Trotter. We talked about the Cowboys linebackers, and Trotter's a guy who I think could play on the Cowboys team. He's that type of a linebacker.
He grew up here in Texas.
Yeah, he runs around a lot. Here he is right in the middle of the field. But watch how he reads Aikman. He drops back, and then he reads his eyes, and he makes a nice break on the ball to get his hand on that pass and knock it down. See that? That's all about quickness and reaction, and Jeremiah Trotter has that.
3rd and 10, 4 wideouts. Aikman can't find anyone. He takes off. Here's no Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, you don't. And Troy Aikman looked like he caught a shot to the head there too. And with his concussion problems, you know, he needs, if he's going to get out there, he needs to slide. And like you said, he's not Donovan McNabb. He's a ferocious competitor. The Eagles only rush 3, so there's 8 in coverage. He's got nowhere to go, and it's a great temptation. But watch here, he doesn't slide because he wants to get that first down. But see the shot he takes? Trotter just nails him.
Alan Rossum awaiting Goins' punt. Penalty marker as Rossum let it bounce. 45-yard punt by Goin. And it's against the Cowboys.
Flags down on the play.
Ineligible player on the kicking team downfield, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 4th down.
Leon Lett.
And one thing you never want to have to do is kick that thing over again. Troy Aikman. You can't tell someone like Troy Aikman, though, not to try to run to pick up the first down when he sees an open field, even though that's not his strength. Because the other strength that he has is that he's such a competitor and he has such a burning desire to win and to get back to the Super Bowl and feel that ultimate high of playing in the National Football League.
He's 3 for 3 in Super Bowls. Another opportunity for Rossum, but he calls for the fair catch. back at the 16-yard line. A 50-yard kick by Goen. Next week on Fox NFL Sunday, it's another battle in the NFC East as the Redskins take on Peyton Manning and the Colts, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, right here on Fox.
The NFC is such a tight race this year with everyone that this time of year all these games take on significance, and all of them are interesting and fun to watch. And you pull out all the stops as a player, and if you're Deion Sanders, heck, you're going to play defense and special teams, and you're going to play offense, and you do everything you can do to get to those playoffs.
Eagles start from their own 16-yard line. McNabb to the air on first down. Incomplete.
Again, nice coverage by the Cowboys secondary downfield, and talked about Deion Sanders and talked about Troy Aikman being a ferocious competitor, and Deion doing everything that he can possibly do to help win this thing. And here it is. He's got 8 of the 28 offensive plays, 22 of 22 on defense, and 3 of the 12 special teams plays. And that really takes its toll on your body throughout a Sunday afternoon.
So he has not taken off a play defensively due to the injuries suffered by Kevin Smith, who is inactive, and Kevin Mathis, who was injured earlier. And he's played 8 offensive plays as well.
And Charlie Williams did a nice job covering Nate Brown on that last play. Donovan McNabb had nowhere to throw to.
You played with Deion Sanders in Atlanta. What was it like to be around him every day?
He's a great guy. He's a wonderful guy in the locker room. He's a great friend to everyone on the team. He's humble. He's wonderful. I can't say enough good things about him.
McNabb on third down, and the catch was made by Nate Brown close to the first down marker. He needed to get to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, I think he's short. It was a nice route, except it was a little bit short. That's a rookie throwing to a rookie, and this is Nate Brown's opportunity here as he runs this out cut to develop some rapport in these last games of this season with Donovan McNabb. And he makes a nice catch, but he comes up a little short. I'm probably the only person that's ever said Deion Sanders and talked about his humility. But he really is. I mean, I think there's 2 Deions. I think there's one Deion Sanders, the person, and then there's Deion Sanders, the primetime image.
And he really is the same guy. This one rolls to the 28-yard line, a 47-yard punt by Landeta. There have been reports in recent weeks that Deion may want to give baseball a try once again.
Well, yeah, he said that to us. I asked him if he wanted to come on a fishing trip that a bunch of ex-Falcons go to every year in upstate New York, and he said, I'd like to do it if I don't pick up the stick. Of course, you being a multi-sport announcer, you knew immediately what that meant. And then it said, I guess he also told Peter King that he might also want to be on the Fox pregame show. And then they talked about it this morning. Talked about Chris Collinsworth maybe losing his seat and having that filled in with Deion.
Terry Bradshaw very quick to
Terry
press the exit door.
Terry makes all the decisions.
Even regarding Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, everything that happens on the pregame comes through Terry.
Prior to the snap, false start offense, number 81, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's the second penalty flag on Rocket Ismail today.
And I think the guys on the pregame really like Chris Collinsworth, though, but you have to have thick skin out there in L.A.
Troy Aikman was in the studio 2 weeks ago with the guys.
He talked about how a wet ball really affects him, and the Cowboys are glad that today that it is not raining the way it was here yesterday in Dallas.
1st and 15. Aikman can't find anyone. Again takes off, and this time runs it out of bounds.
Forced out of bounds by number 52.
Kenny, last week in the first half, the Cowboys were miserable on offense. 41 total yards, 1.6 yards a play, 3 points. These 3 points really came off of a Dexter Coakley interception. And then this week they've been pretty good. 110 yards, 3.1, and then they've gotten 10 points. So a much better offensive output, and all that without Emmitt Smith.
Last week, a 13-6 loss to the Patriots. Today, a 10-3 lead over the Eagles. Fox. Only once in their last 9 trips to Dallas. They trail by a touchdown. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, and Chris with scores and highlights from around the league. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. Have they made way for Deion Sanders by eliminating Howie?
No, I think he's just got the flu.
Oh, okay. His name was off that graphic. Aikman to Rocket Ismail, his first catch of the game. And the Cowboys first down.
Boy, the Cowboys line did a great job of picking up this blitz. And Troy Aikman did an even better job by spinning out of the blitz. Watch the Eagles come up here, and they bring the pressure right up those A-gaps. And watch it here. Here come both linebackers and the safety right there, that bunch. And one of them gets through, and watch Troy Aikman just spin out. And that frees up him, and it frees up the Rocket.
A gain of 17 for the NFC's 4th leading receiver. Aikman to Chris Warren. Another first down into Philadelphia territory. A gain of 13 yards. And the Cowboys call timeout. They have 1 remaining.
Well, this is a different passing game than we've seen the Cowboys use in recent weeks. And they've mixed it up a lot more. They've had trouble at the wide receiver spot with injuries. We said Ernie Mills and McGarity, and of course Michael Irvin. And I think they've done a nice job, Chiangeli and Aikman together, throwing to these underneath guys, throwing to the running backs and throwing to the tight ends, and picking up a lot of positive intermediate yardage.
How important is this game for the Dallas Cowboys? They are one of 3 teams tied at 6-6, 1 game behind the Redskins.
And I think for the Cowboys to elevate themselves to the top, get to the playoffs, more importantly, as Chiangeli said, to advance all the way to the Super Bowl, they have to get this passing game well. The passing game has to evolve in something much better than it's been.
3 wide receivers from the 44-yard line. Oh, big hit on Eric Bjornsson.
Wow.
By Al Harris.
Well, that's what you dream about it. As a cornerback, you know, you're back there, and this is a blindside shot because Bjornsson just stops right here, and as he turns around, Al Harris is there and just slams him. That's pretty good stuff, you know. I mean, you seek that out as a lineman or a linebacker. If you get it as a cornerback, it's real special.
Aikman's pass deflected and nearly picked off. Mike Reese was one of the linebackers who nearly had an interception last week, but could not hang on.
The Eagles come with 3 down linemen, and then they bring the linebackers in. And it's Hollis Thomas who gets his hands on this thing, but it's a 3-man front with 2 linebackers. They're doing the same thing right now.
3rd and 10 from the 44. Aikman's pass is caught for a first down. Jason Tucker down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 19 yards.
I think Jason Tucker is really starting to establish Troy Aikman's confidence in him. This is the 3rd reception he's had, and don't forget he drew that pass interference penalty earlier.
Aikman's pass knocked down by Al Harris and a penalty marker. Jeff Ogden was the intended receiver. Harris doesn't agree.
Well, we saw Harris get away with a hold before on the Rocket when Rocket came back on a comeback route, And this time he didn't get away with it.
Holding, defense number 21, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They're calling that against Bobby Taylor. I don't know if they just mixed up the numbers. Which happens from time to time.
39 seconds remaining. Only the second Eagles penalty. Cowboys on the move, leading by a touchdown. Aikman looking in zone, looking Ismail. Climbing up his back was Troy Vincent.
Eagles defense came with a blitz off the corner. Troy Aikman, I think, senses it coming, releases this ball. There's the blitz right there, and it gets on him. And that would have been a tough one to catch, but they've come to really rely on Rocket Ismail.
Two tight ends for the Cowboys. And Aikman's pass is caught by Ismail. Tim Houck made the stop. Clock continues to run. Cowboys have one timeout remaining.
The Eagles defense is really pouring the heat on Troy Aikman. They've blitzed him for the last 3 plays in a row. Probably blitz him again.
3rd and 7. No flag, yes, a late flag as Bobby Taylor made contact with Tucker.
The Eagles think it's against Tucker.
The pass was uncatchable. There was no foul on the play. 4th down.
So the Cowboys will have to settle for a field goal attempt. Flag is picked up because the pass was uncatchable.
Here's Tucker here. There's the interference, but yeah, that pass, and the pass was uncatchable because, again, the Eagles came with the all-out blitz, and Aikman had to throw it away sooner than he wanted to.
Eddie Murray 1 for 2. This a 34-yard attempt, and Murray's kick is good. So the Cowboys, who have missed more field goals than any other team this year, they've missed 10, hit on 2 of 3 in the first half, and extend their lead. It is now Dallas 13, Philadelphia 3.
Well, they cut their kicker, Richie Cunningham. They brought Eddie Murray in. He's made 2 of 3, and the one he missed was a 50-yarder that hit the upright, so even that was close.
Deion Sanders, 2 receptions in the first half. Troy Aikman has thrown for 134 yards. Emmitt Smith left early in the first quarter due to a sprained left groin. Cowboys lost 2 defensive starters as well, but they still lead, looking to keep intact their perfect home record. Only 46 passing yards for Donovan McNabb, and the Eagles, who have managed to put only 3 points on the board as they trail the Cowboys 13-3.
And the Cowboys defense has done a nice job limiting the Eagles run game, forcing McNabb in the passing game.
The Visa halftime report is next after this message and a word from your local Fox station.